Y'all, I get the sweetest emails and letters from y'all ever. So I just have to read you this one. This was sent to me December the 14th from D. Pantana. And you just got to listen to this. I can remember the day vividly. My name is Dee Pantana, and I've been watching you for over 20 years, and I live in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I can remember the day vividly when I spoke with you on the phone. My mom happened to be living with us at the time. She lived with our family for 13 years, and she read the paper daily. And one day she happened to read an article about the bag lady and said, I should call you. So I called you at your restaurant after I read that great article about how you got started. You were so gracious and asked if you could call me back in about 15 minutes because you were finishing up at the restaurant. And I really didn't think you would call me, but you did. You were so kind and helpful to me about getting a business started. So I had a little business called DeeDee's Sweeties and sold cakes, pies, and cookies in a few restaurants, friends, and family. One of my best sellers was an unusual coffee cake baked in an iron skillet. I bake it in a 9-inch cake pan now. My sister gave me the recipe 44 years ago, but I changed the flavor from almond to cinnamon/vanilla. And it's really delicious if you add pecans and raisins. And I'd love to share the recipe with you and hope you'll try and enjoy it as much as others have. So, Dee Dee, what a sweet note. And, you know, I've worked really hard over the years, but when I get things like this, it makes whatever work I did so worthwhile. So here is Dee Dee's coffee cake, y'all. It's 1 cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of white sugar, 1.5 sticks of melted butter, 2 eggs from my chicken coop. We finally got the chicken coop finished with 10 little chickens in it, and they're so precious. I've got to show you Phyllis Diller. That's the only one I've named.
We have to name a few more. There's one that is just striking, all black. And I think she should be named Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor. We'll name her Elizabeth. Michael wanted to name them poached and scrambled and fried over my dead body, Michael Groover.
We're not going to let him.
No.
We're not going to let him participate in this name thing.
So 2 eggs, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of salt, or a tad more of the cinnamon, she says, a half a cup of chopped pecans, optional, and a half a cup of raisins, optional. I think it's best with the nuts and raisins. A cinnamon roll is not a cinnamon roll, Dee Dee, unless it has raisins and pecans in it, as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to add the wet ingredients. Add wet ingredients into a mixing bowl and mix by hand. So let's see. Our wet ingredients would be butter. What else is wet? Vanilla.
And eggs.
And eggs. And we're done. All right, this is a half a teaspoon right here. So I will do this twice. Oh, and a little overflow. Too bad. I love my vanilla. All right, let's see. And look at these beautiful eggs. And when they start producing so much, it's hard to keep up with them. So we date them when they come out of the coop. So we will know to use the oldest ones first. Look at that. I love the color of that egg, Eddie.
Yeah.
And we've got a chicken. Excuse my runny nose. My sinuses are killing me this morning. We've got a chicken out there. She's not quite old enough, but she's going to be laying like the blue eggs, which are beautiful. Let me just get those eggs mixed up real good. So 44 years ago, this recipe was given to Dee. All right, and now, oh, she said mix by hand with a spoon or a rubber spatula. Okay. Add dry ingredients to wet ingredients and mix well by hand. All right, so our brown sugar. And Dee, you did white sugar. You did not tell me a baking time. I mean a baking temperature. So I am just assuming that it's like 350. So if it's different from that, once you see this video, you can send me an email and I'll correct the temperature. You know, I wanted to bake this like Dee used to make it years ago in a black skillet. But I've got an 8-inch skillet and I've got a 10-inch skillet. Don't have a 9-inch. So I'm going to do just like she said, and I'm going to bake it in my cake pan. Okay, now I'm going to stir in our pecans and our raisins. And I think this is it, isn't it, Eddie?
That's it.
Wow, super.
You did the cinnamon already?
You know what? Did I do the cinnamon? I didn't do the cinnamon. All right, so she called for
a teaspoon or more.
A teaspoon plus a tad. Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, I didn't do the cinnamon because I didn't have a 1 teaspoon measure up here. Because you need that cinnamon if you're going to have a cinnamon coffee cake. Cinnamon raisin coffee cake. Okay. Looks so good. And DeeDee's.
That's the cookie batter.
I know, that's exactly what it looks like, doesn't it, Eddie? And DeeDee said to be sure and spray your pan with a non-stick. Yes, it's it's thick. It's thick like a cookie batter. I'm gonna spread that out in the pan. And like I said, Dee didn't tell us what temperature, so I'm just guessing at 350. That's what most things are baked on. And she said bake it for 30 to 35 minutes. And she said the center should be softer than the edges. Let it cool and sprinkle a generous amount of granulated sugar on top. I sure will, Dee. I will do just that. Okay, Dee, so I'm going to do just like you say. Let it cool for a little while. And then sprinkle it generously with white sugar. And now, because I cook with a high-powered commercial oven, I bake this for 25 minutes. So, is that generous enough?
Oh, it's generous.
You think it's generous? All right, now I've got some cinnamon sugar. So just for color, we'll sprinkle a little bit with that. I think we ought to cut it, don't you, Eddie?
I think we need to cut it, yes.
I don't know how Dee cuts hers to serve, but I'm thinking this way might be good as any, right?
Yeah.
And she said it would be softer in the center. Oh. Oh my goodness. Dee, this is sinfully good. I may have cooked it for another 5 minutes, but it felt so firm. So, but I mean, it is out of this world, y'all. Tastes just like a cinnamon roll. without all the work. I need a glass of milk now, Eddie. Thank you, Dee. Thank you for sharing one of your all-time favorite recipes with us. Everybody's gonna love making this.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.